Regrettably, I was just on the phone with President Biden, and he shared his deep disappointment at not being able to join us this afternoon. The president has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID. So, of course, we understand that he needs to take the precautions that have been recommended, and he did not obviously want to put anybody at risk.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, it seems like if you keep your ear to the street, if you know which way the wind is blowing, seems like Joe Biden's 2024 campaign is spiraling to a quick end. Since the assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life on Saturday when an assassin's bullet grazed his ear, seems like the Joe Biden campaign has spiraled out of control. Seems like they've jumped out of a plane and their parachute is not opening. Everyone is in panic mode, and from congressmen to senators to former presidents, even Barack Obama himself, they're all trying to convince Joe Biden to drop out of the race. Well, maybe he should, because it seems like this geriatric president is no longer capable of even being president in his current term, let alone running for another term.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together.
I cannot underscore what David Chalian stated earlier enough, which is the feeling is, are you kidding me? This is the absolute last thing that they need. And that there is definitely a feeling that President Biden and the campaign around him just can't catch a break right now, because this was the moment, especially as this convention comes to an end tomorrow, and the focus hasn't really been totally away from President Biden, but it's been away a little bit. But the focus is going to turn even more to President Biden and what is going on with him, that they needed him to be out, to be robust, and to be campaigning. And that's not going to happen, especially given, Aaron, the fact that the clamoring from House Democrats in particular, but also other elected officials, it's not going away. And it is becoming even more intense as they get more and more polling, and they are pressuring the campaign and the president's inner circle to really try to take seriously their concerns, that it's not just about the president, but about their political viability in the House and the Senate, maybe even governor's mansions.
These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days, doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
It should.
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
But those of us who know that the Democrats knew this when he ran his prior campaign. We knew this leading up to 2020. That's why they hid him in the basement. That's why they wouldn't let the press have adequate access to him. That's why he only came out every now and then and made a few statements here or there, sparsely. And we've all seen his campaign stops. During that 2020 campaign where he would come out on stage and there would be 5 to 10 people sitting there listening to him. Well, we know what happened in 2020. We know it was unfair. We know it was rigged. But here we are in 2024 where his decline has accelerated. His dementia is undeniable. And he can barely even get in the car.
When he got down there at the base of the stairs there, he was asked questions by reporters. He told them, I am doing well. He gave them a thumbs up. He is now going to be isolating at his beach house. And we did note he wasn't wearing a mask there when he came down the stairs. But it does appear once he gets in the car that he puts that mask on. David.
Puts the mask on. It appears that he might be getting a little help just getting into the car there. Hard to make out through the rain what exactly is going on there. But it does look like certainly that the president's feeling the effects of early in the stages of COVID, and many of us have been there. So we do wish him a speedy recovery. John Carl, you're reporting earlier on World News Tonight, getting some pickup tonight across several news outlets. You reported on this meeting that Chuck Schumer had with President Biden. This was Saturday, and it was not long before the...
Should he bow out of the race? In my opinion, no. Because y'all voted for him. See, y'all drank the Kool-Aid. Y'all fell for the okie doke. So stick with your candidate. Stand on it. 10 toes down, ride it out. Y'all voted for Joe. So stick with Joe. How you gonna boot Joe out at the last minute? What are you gonna do? Usher in Gavin Newsom, who has destroyed my great state, former great state of California? You gonna usher him in? With his terrible track record, it'll never work. You're going to allow Kamala to step up and be the first woman president? She can't win. It'll never work. Your options are limited. And your current candidate is limited. Y'all, I take no pleasure in saying that. The current president of the United States is limited. We all witnessed Special Counsel Hur's report. Well, it's proven to be true. No shade to her. Seemed to be right over the target. And now it is exposed for the entire world to see. Well, what y'all think about it? As Donald Trump prepares to give his RNC speech tonight. As the Republican Party seems to be unified and going in a new direction, as they seem to be backing their presidential and vice presidential candidate to the fullest in this race. What are the Democrats going to do now that Joe Biden is claiming he has COVID? Fully vaxxed and boosted to the nines. I don't think he could be any more boosted. Where's your mask, Joe? Seems like it's coming to a swift end, and the voices on the Democrat side are getting louder and louder, to the point where even an old man who's hard of hearing, who can barely get upstairs to Air Force One, even with his bad hearing, I'm sure he can hear the shrieking coming out of the Democrat Party to get him to resign. Well, what do y'all think? You think Joe should resign? Oh, Jim Crow Joe? You think he should wave the white flag and just give it up and walk away? Well, who's going to pardon Hunter if he does that?
And I am told that the pressure from Democratic leaders for Biden to get out of the race is intensifying. In fact, one person who has been out there publicly defending Biden told me just a short while ago, Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Rehoboth, Delaware, I am told that this was a one-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that Chuck Schumer forcefully made the case that it would be better for Biden, better for the Democratic Party, and better for the country if he were to bow out of the race. And David, when I went to Schumer's office to ask them to tell them I was going to report this and tell you this tonight, absolutely no denial from Senator Schumer's office. They only said this: Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus. In other words, the views of Democratic senators. I am also told that Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, has expressed similar views directly to the president.
You're getting a statement, I take it, from Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, this is a response to a report that came out from ABC saying that in a private meeting that Joe Biden had with Chuck Schumer this past Saturday in Delaware, that according to this report, that Chuck Schumer made a forceful case for Biden to end his candidacy for president. Now, this is what Schumer's office just put out. It says, unless ABC sources Senator Chuck Schumer or President Joe Biden, the reporting is idle speculation. Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus directly to President Biden on Saturday. So it is not an explicit denial. It's just simply saying that they can't know what happened because Biden and Schumer were the only people in the room. Now, that same report talked about how Hakeem Jeffries, a Democratic leader, had a separate meeting and conveyed similar concerns to Hakeem Jeffries. I'm told by multiple people in Jeffries' orbit that, first of all, they're not commenting about what was actually conveyed to the president in that private meeting, but also that they point back to the statement that Jeffries had put out earlier to the Democratic caucus about how they're engaging in this ongoing discussion about what to do next in this presidential race. But clearly, if Chuck Schumer is conveying the views of the Democratic caucus, Wolf, the views of the Democratic caucus are that they are concerned that if he continues with his candidacy, he will not only lose, but could cost them Congress.
A lot of questions to be answered. Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts on this topic. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.